On February 28, 1979, the Misfits and a mobile recording unit entered an abandoned haunted house in northern New Jersey. They recorded and left. While mixing the tapes back at an NYC studio, strange voices and noises were heard in the background. Note, especially teenagers from Mars. No explanation of these sounds could be given by the band or recording crew. The following tracks on this record are a result of that eerie session. Dave Street. Who am I? Who was I? Well, back in the punk days, I for a while, they tell me I was a punk comedian. I have a record that proves it, I think. I actually never talked about this. I think we recorded it in 1981, and it's called Is It Okay to Laugh? I think the whole thing about punk was almost like being a tongue-in-cheek threat. On one hand, you had your leather jacket on, you wanted to be real bad and everything, and it was real because I think most of us did not like our experiences growing up in society and in school. But on the other hand, we really weren't bad guys. We weren't really going to go out and cut anybody to pieces with razor blades. But this was our stance against society. And I think this record, Is It Okay to Laugh, was like telling people, are there things you can't laugh about before everybody got all politically correct and everything. I'm going to tell you an amazing story about a record. Back when I used to hang out and occasionally I say worked or something when my mind was working at a store called Natashas, which was a legendary punk fashion store in the East Village on St. Mark's Place. A lot of famous people used to come in, and we ended up making really good friends with the Misfits. In fact, the Misfits Theme Club, those of you familiar with the history of the band, started at Natashas' loft, and that was up on 27th Street. And so her store, Natashas' store, was kind of the home of the Misfits fan club. And at one point, I traded some records to Glenn Danzig. I don't even remember, but I know I definitely traded. I think it was the Noel. I think there was a Yes New York album. And they had a No LA, and I come back from LA, and I think I traded for. I'm pretty sure for this record, Beware the Misfits. This is my copy. On the back, it's autographed by somebody. And I say somebody because I have no idea what happened in those days. I think Jerry's on there. I think then the drummer Joey Image was on there. I think Glenn's name might even be on there somewhere. Only thing is, it's made out to somebody that nobody knows. It says to Sadhu, and nobody knows who Sadhu is. So I don't know who Sadhu is unless that was their nickname for me or Natasha. I was on the verge of leaving New York, and I took this record. And somebody nice let me crash at their house in East Village. And I put this record in their house, in the record bin, in 1984. Forgot all about it. Then with Facebook and everything, I reconnected with the son of the person whose house I had left that in. And I used to house sit there when he was very young. And I said, hey, by the way, I left this record, a long time ago, the Misfits. Do you think there's any chance? He goes, maybe. I think everything's still together. So I go over to the house, and as unbelievable as it was, 26 years later, there it is in the bin of records, basically as I left it. Because I think everyone knows you better beware and you don't mess with a Misfits record. This is an EP called Horror Business, and there's an insert that any true Misfits fan is familiar with. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the truth about the whole thing, but I will tell you that Glenn and I talked about it, and it was his suggestion that I write this. See, it's kind of interesting. My memory is kind of fuzzy going back like 30 years. I got to, I don't know, I'll try to remember what I can. I guess I was friends with them, or Glenn would have never asked me to write that. I guess that's proof. But I do remember at some point, when they were just starting to get on the way up, that I'm pretty sure Glenn asked me to go over to a club called Hurrah and get them booked on the same bill with the Damned. I think that was like the first thing I did with the Misfits. And then after they made that recording, I think Glenn let me listen to it. And I think we said, wow, somebody should write something down. I think Glenn said, yeah, why don't you write what we were just talking about? I think that's how I ended up writing that insert.